Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today for our monthly service in appreciation of our founder, Konko. Today, I would like to talk about a recent news that I saw. It was about an 11-year-old boy in Arizona who was stung by more than 400 bees after accidentally striking the beehive in his yard. I was like wondering, how did it happen? So apparently he was shooting some cars with a BB gun. Typical 11-year-old behavior, right? And one of the BBs, it hit the car and it ricocheted. It ricocheted and it hit a beehive in the bushes. It's like how coincidence, like how accurate. That's amazing how that can even happen. And so typical 11-year-old behavior. We were just as bad when we were his age, so I'm not gonna say anything. But it's interesting that when you do things that are not right, and you know that they are not right, and you do it anyways, the results of our actions is gonna come back to hurt us. And it's not coming from punishing us or anything. It's basically the energy of our behavior just backfires at us. That's all it is. So anyways, the BB ricocheted, hit the car, and hit the beehive, and a mass of angry bees just swarmed at this 11-year-old boy, stinging him all over his body. And this boy, he was allergic to bees. When you're allergic to bees, even like a single bee can kill you. And so because he had an anaphylactic reaction the last time, people who get anaphylactic episodes, they usually carry like an EpiPen. EpiPen is like a little shot, basically you give to yourself that has epinephrine inside. Another word for that is adrenaline. So anaphylaxis, it can be very deadly if not treated in a timely manner. But this time, when he got stung by 400 bees, something really incredible happened. And he basically channeled his inner Dragon Ball Z character. He likes Vegeta, if you know what Dragon Ball Z is. And he channeled it like Vegeta going Super Saiyan, and his adrenaline spiked in his own body, and he was able to survive the bee stings. How amazing is that? And I think you all know the world famous anime Dragon Ball Z. When we were little, in our 80s and 90s, we were obsessed with Dragon Ball Z comics and anime shows and movies. And so when worst comes to worst in the series of Dragon Ball, the Saiyajin, or the Super Saiyans, have the ability to go Super Saiyan. And characters like Son Goku or Vegeta, and even their sons like Gohan and Trunks, they have the ability to go Super Saiyan. And, you know, their usual black hair turns gold and it puffs up like this, and you all know the famous, shouting of what Gohan or Son Goku does, and he has this fireball that comes out and he does Kame, and then it's just this big fireball that blasts enemy. When worst comes to worst, they tap into their inner ki and they destroy the enemies. So basically, so that's what the boy did. He channeled his inner Vegeta, and he was like, Super Saiyan power! When he was getting stung by all these 400 bees, and he was able to miraculously survive because that inner adrenaline kicked in. He didn't even need an EpiPen. He activated the EpiPen from within his body, and I think that's really amazing. So humans are no different. We can activate the Super Saiyan power within our own bodies. It's amazing. And we have this undeniably strong inner power when faced with a life or death situation. And in Japanese, they call it ningen no Baka-Chikara. Or this foolish or absurd hidden strength. And we all have this inner power, this Baka-Chikara. Housewives are known to carry the tansu, you know, the big the dressers in their house full of like wonderful treasures and kimonos and stuff. They're known to carry that out of a burning house. And you see videos of like people lifting up a car because somebody was pinned underneath. And it's like, how is that even possible? You take like a jack and it's even hard to lift that up. But when they're, you know, in that kind of pinch, they're able to harness that inner power and even lift up the front side or the back side of the car and free the person up. So we possess powers, all of us, every one of us possess this power we don't even know we have. And sometimes it's heightened awareness, sometimes it's reflexes that move so fast that you don't even realize, we're not even thinking. I remember one time I was deep frying something, doing tempura or something, frying some katsu, and then a huge drop of boiling hot oil came coming towards my eyeball. And I could see it coming straight and like this golden drop of oil from the pot come straight into my eye, and it looked like all slow motion. And right before it touched my eyeball, my eyelid just shut itself. I wasn't even thinking, oh, I better like shut my eyeball. It's like automatic reflexes. And it left a little burn mark on my eyelid. And it just scares me to think what would have happened if that boiling drop of hot oil landed right on my eyeball. I probably would not be able to see. So it's really crazy if my eyelid didn't react in time. Now that reflex, that protection, that's also the Baka-Chikara, I think. And even a mouse, when it's cornered by a cat, is going to fight back without mercy. And when worse comes to worse, something inside of us, it activates. I had an interesting dream a couple of days ago. And this was another of my several tsunami dreams. I had so many tsunami dreams in the past. And every time I recorded in my dream log, but this one was like, so my mom, she went to Honolulu Church to do Orei Mairi. Orei Mairi is appreciation pilgrimage. And we go like 3 times a month to Honolulu Church. But this time my mom, she decided to go. Usually it's my dad. And then this huge earthquake strikes and we can feel it. And a warning pops up on our phone and it says that a catastrophic tsunami is headed our way toward Honolulu and within 20 minutes. So please head to higher ground. And I was like, oh my goodness, Boka-san just went to Honolulu 20 minutes ago. There's no way she is going to come back to us. She is going to probably die in that tsunami. And sure enough, within 20 minutes, I see this. Okay, this is all a dream now. Remember now, it's all a dream. This huge tsunami, it's like taller than Kaala Mountains, coming toward us. And I could see it from central Oahu, so I could imagine how devastating it is. And it just blankets downtown Honolulu area. And I was convinced that my mom had become a casualty and she was never to return. However, 1 week later, in my dream, she comes back safely to our church. She was all beat up and muddy and like seaweed coming on her hair. But she was very much alive, full of energy, full of life, and very thankful to be alive. And I thought, oh, because I was for sure you died in that tsunami. But she came back, and we're so happy, and it was such a vivid dream. So again, that was my mom, Ningen no Baka-Chikara. Kajiba no Baka-Chikara. And so my mom is like, there is no other person that I know who trusts in Kami-sama more than my mom. It's like, it's not like a conditional kind of trust. It's not like, oh, Kami-sama, I trust you sometimes. I trust Kami-sama all the time, 100% of these times. And that's why so many amazing things come my mom's way. It's like her prayers come true all the time. And it's like she's not worried about anything because she has full, complete trust in Kami-sama. So when worst comes to worst, what do we do? Who do we trust? Do we trust anybody? Do we trust Kami-sama at all times? Or are we on a conditional, like, oh yeah, I trust you sometimes? And that will be a determining factor whether we can receive blessings when we are in a pinch. And Kami-sama, if you don't trust Kami-sama, it goes both ways. Trust goes both ways. If somebody that you love doesn't trust you, you can't trust them back, right? It's hard to trust them back 100%. If I know that, hey, Clinton trusts me 100%, then I can put my 100% trust on Clinton. But if I only trust him now, I only trust him only halfway, then he's only going to trust me halfway too. The same goes with Kami-sama. We trust our Kami-sama 100%. Kami-sama will place his trust on us 100%. So when worst comes to worst, something in us will awaken. And there's this adrenaline, there is the Baka-Chikara, and that hidden strength Kami-sama built into every human being. But even that power is not separate from divine blessings. That reflex is that closes my eye before the hot oil comes into my eyeball. The strength that lifts the car. And that boy who survived 400 bee stings even though he's allergic to them. Those are not accidents. They are reminders that we were created with that sacred power within us. And the question is not whether we have power. Is we do have that power. The question is, do we recognize where it comes from? When everything is calm, do we still trust in Kami-sama? Or do we only go Super Saiyan spiritually when disasters strike? Faith should not activate only in emergencies. True faith should remain consistent at all times. And when we trust unconditionally, not just in a pinch, that is when divine blessings can flow naturally. So let's live in a way that we don't wait for catastrophe to discover our inner strength. Let us trustfully, daily, and sincerely in Kami-sama. And again, when worst comes to worst, we won't panic because we already know who we trust in and who we rely on. Yeah. So that dream was really a reminder that, oh, my mom, she has complete trust in Kami-sama. And when we do, even though these moments may seem impossible, we can receive divine blessings from Kenji Kami-sama. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your attendance. As I listened to Innocent's speech, I remember one message given by Reverend Masayuki Koda. He once wrote, expressed that to make, to spread the Konko teaching, Konko we would like in Wahia, or in another Wahia, in Hawaii, is to just show the people who truly believe in Tenchi Kami-sama absolute 神様を信じきった人を見せればいい。It's one way to get engaged as Konko minister to play Konko faith. Like Edna mentioned, Excellency is the one. can't be so true. I sometimes say, Konko believers get into the work of the teaching, policemen, doctors, clerk, shopping clerk, and so forth. Not upside down, no. Teachers get into Konko believe, the Konko faith. Policemen or minister get engaged in Konko belief. But Konko believers get engaged. So it's kind of the same thing. Show the people who truly believe in Genji Kamism, who truly believe in Kamism, absolute, the same thing. This is my reaction about the message given by emphasis. Actually, I want to say about the one message I found in the. Actually, we both, Rick, Sensei, and I, read the Kyoten Gorikai after morning service and evening service, 1 or 2 pages. And a few days ago, I encountered a very interesting message given to Kondo Fujima by the founder. It's about the rice. We call rice uchimaki, kome or yone. Uchimaki is rice that we scatter in front of the outer. The ko of kome means child, and the mi means bud. Therefore, rice nurtures the child to grow into an adult. Yo or yone means society, and me means the roots. Ne means roots. Now, thus, rice is also the root of society. It builds society through people it nurtures. If eating this rice builder of the society won't cure the illness, then neither will earn or save it. お米を食うて治らんなら、約束でもう他のもう一回でもなりません。So true. Some people refrain to eat rice because, but we at Konko believe, Konko tradition, we are Goshinmai. It's a special processed raw rice. Actually, I can engage in making Goshinmai as shugyo. The beginning of the shugyo is to select each grain of rice. Just straight in the tray and and then accumulative fine rice could be washed and dried for about 10 days in upper places. And then finally, Wednesday, the head minister processed the rice in a very special place. Nobody, I've never witnessed what he does. But I learned he sprayed sacred rice, omiki, and then dry. It takes about 1 or 2 weeks to process all the. It depends on the weather condition. And then the shugyo also fold inside papers, meticulously, and then the outer end. And sensei at the usually Tetsuo sensei you cut a special rice paper. This big one. You cut in the size of the cushion, right? And we use a special spoon, about one dozen grain rice into the throw them Goshima. And they put in the Goshima. And this is how the Goshima is made at Konko Church. And even at the Gohombu, they also the same way they create Goshima. So Konko-sama sometimes say Goshima is just a paper and rice. If they did not appreciate the meaning of Goshima, it just writes a paper. But Goshima symbolizes blessing of Tenji kind of rice is staple food for Japanese people and Asian people. So without rice, we simply cannot survive. But this is the nature of the Goshima. And also Goshima is a kind of receipt of what you have asked the Kami-sama through the mediation. And in return, usually sensei give one packet of Goshima. It's a receipt. Your message you send to relate to Konko and Tenji kind of Kami-sama. And so usually when we drink some medicine, we take Goshima and then medicine. I put some Goshima paper in the pot and boil about 10 to 20 minutes and drink every single day. This is the nature of Goshima. And thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
Yami Konko Tenchi Sai no Kami Shirai Kagayo Agakoro Nari Kongetsu Konnichi de Konomi Pray sincerely with all your heart with one with fun Kami's blessings in within heart Get to enjoy with harmony and joy Live to Kami always now and forever and this very very quick.
Number 1. Page 114. Number 9.
Some part.
No, one paragraph. One number 2 line.
Saito Sojiro. 9. Konko-sama imparted. When raising crops, farmers should leave it to heaven and depend on earth.
2. In spring, when immersing rice seeds, pray to be allowed to immerse the rice seeds. When the seeds are sown into a nursery bed 7 days later, pray to Tenchi Kane no Kami for permission to plant them in his ground. Pray for the seeds' healthy growth free from insects and disease. During the rice planting season in May, take out the seedlings from the nursery bed and take them home. Put them in bunches of 3. Offer them to Kane no Kami-sama and pray to be allowed to plant them in the paddies. Pray that the offered seedlings will take root and grow well without insects and disease. Also pray for a large harvest.
Four. Okay. Pray for all other crops in the same way. Always remember to do this and receive the virtue of heaven and earth.
Hai.
Number 10. Focus on what is perfect. They say if you plant seeds on an unlucky day, the seeds will die. However, since it is Kami-sama who makes seeds die, pray to him for the seed's growth in his ground. Then he will bestow a large harvest. 2. A service-minded person will fulfill the request if he accepts it. But if he will be frightful like a harmful insect, which is like him. A good-natured person is harmless but useless. Kami-sama will bring divine blessings if you ask him. If you disrespect him, he will bring the poison. Thus, harm is the same as him.
이제 Konko 상황이 있거든. What a harm I do without fertilizer. The color of the cotton is small, and the plants were small. My children kept imploring, our cotton looks bad. Let's use some fertilizer. So I suggested, all right, then let's grow half of the plant with fertilizer, and the other half with divine blessings. Later, the fertilized plant grew waist high and looked very good. The other plants were small and looked luxuriant. The cotton fibers were small, but very well shaped. When we took the cotton, we found many of the fertilized plants without any good insect had gotten to them. But from the plants grown with divine blessings, we picked